I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man. My guest is Arj. Arj is the founder and performance coach at Performance Physique. Arj, great to have you on the Inside Man. I just wanted to talk a little bit around workplace stress and in general mindset. You know, how can you help with a few little tips to help sort of maybe reduce stress?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Dominic. So mindset is realistically something we strongly associate with performance athletes and those who are really striving to top levels in their sports, whereas actually we can embed that within the workplace, particularly with stress management. And there's some key topics or key strategies that you can utilize. Now, many of us have probably used the Headspace app, and that talks about breathing, and box breathing is a technique that I would regularly encourage you to use. It doesn't have to be done in a really private location. You can actually spend 60 seconds just focusing on your breathing at your desk without anyone thinking you're catching a nap or anything like that. All it requires you to do is take some really deep breaths and actually hold them for short periods of time. So it might be 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds holding, and then 4 seconds breathing out. It really does have an effect on your blood pressure and can help reduce stress. And if you're in one of those moments where you're just getting overwhelmed by the volume of work, this is really the first port of call. You know, this is what you should be utilizing. But there is something else that I would really strongly advise people take from sports and implement within the workplace. No doubt, we've all been there where we've perhaps made an error, and we're worried. We're really starting to think about our performances. You know, I've really messed up today, and it's self-talk. Now, that might sound ridiculous, but stopping negative thoughts by literally saying the word stop and reminding yourself an occasion, perhaps a feeling, remembering an occasion that you've done really well at, can help reduce the stress that you're feeling in that very moment. Now, this doesn't take away from the fact that you've made a mistake, but it might just help refocus yourself to then address the future issues so that you can possibly prevent yourself from making another mistake.
And is that something you do when you're coaching individuals? You can sort of teach them or coach them into thinking a bit more positively?
Yeah, absolutely. This is something with many of my clients, both corporate clients and athletes, actually, I do a lot of, it's called parking thoughts. And it's self-talk about basically being able to control themselves within that environment. It might be situations which are out of their control, but they can be in control of their mind. The mind is an incredibly powerful tool. It is a performance muscle. And therefore, if you can basically have a few things in the toolbox that you can employ at various times within your 9 to 5 or your 8 to 12, whatever it is you're doing, then you will be a better performer.
And can exercise help clear the mind as well in that sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the most common things I hear about is actually the impact that exercise has at reducing stress. So it does actually have an effect against cortisol, which is the stress hormone. For a period of time, it increases that hormone. But then as you actually complete your strength training or your cardiovascular work, the feelings, the sensations, the endorphins, that I'm a better person for doing this session, actually overcomes those feelings. And you'll generally find that doing a bit of exercise has helped push those negative thoughts out of your head and reduce your levels of stress. And it's something I would strongly recommend. The greatest ideas I've had as a business owner have been when I've actually been out running. That's when I'm at my most creative.
So what would your suggestion be to somebody who works in an office, feeling a little bit stressed out, got lots on the mind, maybe has 10 minutes at lunchtime? What would your suggestion be?
I would go outside and take 10 minutes of walking. Simple as that. Those 10 minutes might provide you with a little bit of respite from that enclosed environment. They'll also contribute to your step count for that day, which is obviously something we hear lots about. It doesn't need to be 10,000 though, that's a load of rubbish. But it will contribute to you being a little bit more active, and it will also help to reduce that blood pressure.
Arj, thank you so much. Anybody watching this who wants to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Head to my website. That's performancephysique.co.uk, or just look for us on social media. It's Performance Physique.
Arj, great to speak to you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.